Hello, Money Queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hello, welcome to Women Behind the Millions. I'm your host, Jessica Weaver. And tonight we're going to say, don't get ahead of yourselves, ladies. I'm just kidding. That's completely against our core message here, right? Let's go as big as we can, ladies. Let's get so far ahead of ourselves and then we'll figure it out, right? Well, this season is all dedicated to our financial trendsetters and our newest book at Pink Fix Productions, Financial Trendsetters 2.0, where we're talking about iconic legacies and the impact that these women are making, not just in the industry, but in their communities, in this nation, across the world as well. We have the privilege of speaking with Alanah Phillips tonight. She is an MBA and an advocate for financial advisors at all stages of their careers. Her mission is to help her network make more money, have more fun, hopefully both. She lives in San Diego as an avid gym goer, writer, singer, and baseball fan. So let's bring to the stage Alanah Phillips. Hello, Alanah. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. I had no idea you're a singer and a songwriter.
I don't know about, I like to sing. I don't know that makes me a singer necessarily. And I write lots of things, not necessarily songs, which is obviously evidenced in writing the chapter of this book. I really, really love writing.
Yes, you're a fantastic writer. I loved your chapter. And the chapter title, at first I was like scratching my head, don't get ahead of yourself. Like, this is what we're telling women?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a story behind the chapter title. Can you tell us about that story?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I thought it was such a fun title. And I think as we were working with the editor, she agreed, this is a fun way to sort of trick people, that's not the advice. But early on in my career, I had, and it was a woman, which I think is part of why I tell the story. And I have no ill feelings towards her. This isn't meant to put her on blast, but I think a reminder to those of us who are now in maybe leadership positions or mentorship positions, working with younger women coming behind us, of being careful of some of the things that we say to them in terms of advice. So this woman had said to me, I was trying to do more and learn more in my career. I wanted to make more money. I wanted more experience. And so I was asking for the ability to do some consulting work within a team. And I thought maybe I might become an advisor at one point, and that was going to be a part of my sort of side hustling to learn new things. And she had said to me, don't get ahead of yourself. And I sat with it then, and it's a phrase that echoes in my brain still, is why I share the story, because I was sort of like, what does that even mean, right? Like, do you want to be behind yourself? Like, is that where you want to be? Because that doesn't seem good. And so I think how do you keep pace with yourself perfectly? I have no idea. I think you want to be ahead of yourself. I think that is ultimately what I want. And I want that for the people in my network as well. Like, please get ahead of yourself. Please ask for more. Please do too much. Please be extra. Please get all the things that you want. And again, not to berate that woman for this advice, but it's something that I have taken to heart and done exactly the opposite of.
Oh, good for you. And unfortunately, when you hear those strong statements, they do kind of circulate in your brain, and like, oh, am I making too big of a leap? Am I going to fail at this? Am I taking on too much? And you bring up a point too of women keeping women down. And when I was new into the industry, I worked as all men at my father's firm. So I reached out to successful female advisors, and I said this story a ton, and they shot me down. I don't have time to talk to you. I'm too busy. And it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changing?
I certainly hope.
A little laugh.
Yeah, no, I certainly hope so, because I think I still do run into women who are participating in this horizontal oppression, right? And I keep hoping not to run into it. And I will say I have so many more women in my network, circle, life who are enlightened women, who understand that there's always more pie, there's always more room at the table, there's always more, and not pulling that ladder up behind them is really important. I also think something that I've made a practice of, because I do understand the women who came before me, the industry was very different, right? Like some of the things that you experienced were even worse for women who came before you. There weren't even any women for them to reach out to and try to have those conversations with. And so we've made it a practice, I know myself and my business partners, of really thanking the women who don't behave this way, who paved the way for us to be able to participate in the industry the way that we do now. I know we had a woman who, through WIFS, Women in Insurance and Financial Services, was she's taking pictures of my business partners, the Catalyst crew, at an event. And she was like, "You ladies are so cool. Like I never would have had the courage to do some of the things that you're doing." And we said to her, like, "Oh no, like that's not true, right? You just were participating in the industry at a point in time that it was so different. And you paved the way for us to have the space to be courageous and to do some of the things we're doing, and to wear our, crazy sparkle blazers and hot pink shoes and all that kind of stuff, right? Like she had to wear the pantsuits and be in the room in order for us to be able to get in the room, because she left the door open. And now we get to, do all the crazy things that we do. So I think thanking those women has been a really critical part of, like, I want to reinforce the really great behavior of women who have come before us.
Oh, that is powerful. And so letting her know, thanking her, you've done this for us so that we can be here and be our authentic selves, that we don't have to fit into that cookie cutter mold version.
Yeah.
Or two. So powerful. Your quote in your chapter is, "I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on myself is myself." Beyonce. Great quote, Beyonce. Shout out to you. How do you feel, Alanah, you've bet on yourself in this industry?
Yeah, somebody asked me this yesterday. They were like, "What is the compliment that you get the most?" And I couldn't figure out what it is. I came back to it later in the conversation. And for some reason, I have a lot of, and especially women in the industry in my life, that have told me that I'm either like brave or courageous.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think of myself that way at all. Like, I think some of this stuff is like, I don't know, maybe some ignorance. Like you have to be like a little delusional, I think, to take entrepreneurial risks, right? That you do believe that things will work out for you, that you do believe that you believe in your own ability to get the work done. Hopefully you have a great network of folks, which I know that I do, that I feel like I can rely on. So I think the betting on myself, again, maybe there's like a little delusion in there. But I also have found, and this is, a muscle that you exercise, I've found that each time that I have done the brave or the courageous thing, each time I've left when I was scared, or I took that chance, or whatever, right? It was leaving a religion, leaving a partner, leaving a job, starting a business, all of those things. Each time that I've done them, they have paid back dividends. Like the return on that investment is so not commensurate to the scariness of the risk, or what I thought the scariness of the risk was. So I think you also learn from the experience of doing it. Oh, each time that I bet on myself, all of these pieces that I know exist there, the little nets that we've built, will be there to catch me. And so I think that's probably, like, you learn from the experience of doing it too.
Yes. Yes, you do. You talk about the fear of pushing forward when you're not fully qualified, right? So betting on yourself, you probably didn't go and get your master's in running a business. At least I didn't. And then you step into that role. I was not qualified at all when I launched the Wealth Boutique and now Pink Fix Productions. There's a huge learning curve. How do you help women step into that role despite the fear, despite knowing they're not qualified enough?
Yeah. Something I think is really important about this is, again, generally I bet on myself. Generally, I think I'm pretty confident in my efforts and abilities. But then, like, every other day, I'm like, I'm such a fraud. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, we do stuff all the time that I'm unsure if I'm the expert in, or if I've given the right advice, or if I know how to do something. But I also think the more that you interact with people who are doing those things, right, running a business, or I don't know, doing a particular job, writing a book, you realize like nobody has it figured out. Nobody knows exactly what they're doing all the time. And I think that's really freeing. So I know I also make it a practice to tell people exactly what I just said. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. like, and that's freeing, right? That means that we're going to figure it out together. That means there's some experimentation in anything we do. And then, I do think validating for yourself when you look back at your track record, when I say, I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of, I don't know, training new advisors or hiring new advisors. Like, well, I've been doing it for a decade. So if I don't know what I'm doing, we've really just been stumbling through this successfully then for 10 years. So, there's the validation that you have done many of the things and continue to do them and will continue to do them, and reminding yourself of that. That's where often, if I'm working with women especially, it's like, look at your track record here, right? How many years you've been a financial advisor and successfully brought in clients and helped them, and all the things you've helped them with. And why would you not bet on yourself and your ability to do that again? Sometimes when advisors make changes that I might work through with them, there is a little bit of a dip there, right? When you are a beginner at being a business owner, there's lots of new things. It's scary. It's all an experiment. But I've watched so many of them, we're at this level. Maybe we take a little step back here. And then the trajectory forward is just so compounded in terms of where they go from there, which is so cool.
Amazing. Because I was just at a mastermind and it was all TV show hosts. And obviously we're all business owners, entrepreneurial in spirit. And the one guy, and it resonated for me, I'm sure for you too. It's, I wake up at 8 a.m. and I'm so confident in what we're doing. By 8:30, I'm questioning it. By 9 o'clock, I'm crying at my desk. By 10 o'clock, I'm rallying. It's powerful.
Yep, 100%. No, it's like, and I share this with any women who are becoming business owners, especially, of just like, there is this roller coaster that you just will ride forever. Like, I think that most great business owners, there is always, again, some level of delusion that you have to have that, you're the best and you can do the things, you'll figure them out. And then there's a level of humility that maybe you're not the best. And those two things really, I think, help drive you forward, because when you're at those highs, it's what helps you to create and to do really cool things. And when you're at the lower humility space, that's what drives you to get better and to change things and to keep moving forward.
Ooh, that's a great breakdown for women to keep in mind, the balancing of the two as well. We'll talk about, thanking the women who came before us. Part of why we do the Financial Trendsetter series is to honor you women who are setting the new standard for us, paving the way, while giving scholarship money to women who are entering the industry. So here's a quick look at Financial Trendsetters 2.0. What happens when 13 powerhouse women in finance share their stories? You get Financial Trendsetters 2, a bold, inspiring collection from women who are reshaping the financial industry from the inside out. These aren't just advisors, they're creators, connectors, trailblazers. Each chapter reveals the real stories behind their rise, how they're building wealth, redefining leadership, and creating a lasting, iconic legacy. Sharing their real stories of growth, grit, and owning their brilliance. Proceeds from sales of Financial Trendsetters 2 go to support a scholarship for young women entering finance. Available now on Amazon. Yeah, grab your copies, ladies. All the book proceeds, they keep going to our scholarship fund. So keep the momentum going. We want more women in this industry. Well, Alanah, I want to talk about how you became the heartbreaker of the industry. Your term, you're breaking up with your broker dealer. It's so good. It's so catchy. It's on brand. How did this come about?
Yeah, this is so fun. There's very few things, Jessica, that I've come up with in my life where I'm like, oh man, you're like, that's really good. And break up with your broker dealer was one. When I had come up with that phrase, I was like, man. So we're actually in the process of trademarking that, which is really cool. So
Do it.
Yeah, which again, very few things that I would take any credit for. Everything's stolen from someone else and repurposed, but that was a good one. So where that originated from, as I started to work with experienced advisors who were at a firm, they have existing clients and a business. There's this opportunity within the industry to move from more captive firms to more independent firms, right? And this is a shift from being perhaps an employee advisor of some sort to an independent business owner. And there's this, American dream of being a business owner. It's so hard to start a new business, right? If you want to start a restaurant, I think it's like 80% of restaurants fail, right? And so you have to come up with the idea and your menu and get all the ingredients and a storefront and the stuff and your point of sale and your people, right? Like it's hard to do that. And in our business, financial advisors who are in more captive places have the base of a business that has recurring revenue that we already know works. And if they have the entrepreneurial spirit and the desire to move into a more business owner type role, they've got the clients that will come with them. And obviously there's nuance to that process because of broker protocol and contracts that they have with their firms. But it's such a like the easiest or simplest way to be a business owner that we know will be successful. And I think that's so cool. So a woman I was working with early on in this process of me being that guide to help advisors make those changes was telling me about her relationship with her firm. And she was an employee at a bank. The firm would keep stuff from her. They wouldn't tell her about changes that were coming. They wouldn't tell her about events that were happening in her area. Like there was a women advisor summit and they didn't tell her, and she's the only woman in this particular area, just like silly stuff. She got quoted in like New York Times or Wall Street Journal, and they made her take it down. Like she couldn't have her quotes and stuff, and they were also like controlling her time. They kept putting meetings on her calendar and she was missing stuff with her son. And she said to me, as she's telling all these stories, she said, Alanah, it's like I'm in an abusive relationship with my firm. And I was like, whew, like this is loaded language, right? But from that concept of like your firm really not being a good partner to you, and not treating you the way you would want to be treated in a relationship came the idea that you need to break up, right? And all the signs that it's time for a breakup in a real relationship, right? Somebody that controls your time, somebody that controls your money, somebody that doesn't celebrate you, somebody that doesn't tell you the truth. All of these were the things I was hearing from advisors. And I was like, oh gosh, we've all experienced when you're in a relationship that you don't think is going somewhere. Yeah. And seeing some of those signs, realizing that you need to break up. And then also, hopefully all of us have experienced on the other side of the breakup, although breakups suck, you are typically better off. And there is more and better that's waiting for you on the other side of it. So from that woman's, again, sort of emotional loaded language about it came break up with your broker dealer. How do we notice the signs? How do we work through that breakup? And how do we make sure you're better off on the other side?
And you're helping guide them, because a lot of times you don't realize how bad it is.
Yeah.
Until you're on that other side. And you're right, looking for those signs. Even thinking of my girlfriends who just went through a divorce, it took them speaking with their therapist to realize this is not normal. This isn't a healthy environment, and they are stifling you. She's probably getting gaslit. There's narcissistic behavior. And there's a lot of things. So you're right, very on point with it is a relationship. And is it a relationship serving you, or is it abusive or holding you down? For it too. So and it's great that you're sharing these stories so women can see it's not me. As I think that happens with a lot of women. What do you think, Alanah? Where it's like,
oh my goodness,
I'm the common denominator. It keeps happening to me. I must be the problem.
Yeah.
How do you help them switch that perspective?
Yeah. It's so interesting, obviously, because a lot of the advisors I work with are men, just the population of our industry, and they struggle with different things in this breakup, right? But it's usually not what you're describing, right? The women take responsibility for what's happening and go, oh, what could I be doing differently? And how is this a me problem? Me is the common denominator. The other thing I find a lot is that women have a tremendous amount of loyalty that's it comes up in these conversations where they feel like their firm gave them their start, or their firm has done all these other things, or they said that they were going to change,
They were going to change.
yeah, it's the same stuff that you hear from a girlfriend who's staying with a significant other that they shouldn't be with anymore. And so I think it is the same way again with our girlfriends. We might talk about, hey, I'm experiencing this in my relationship. My boyfriend did X, Y, or Z. And your girlfriends go, that's not that's not normal. Or I've experienced this too, where you're like, oh my gosh, he holds the door open. And you're like, yeah, that's like baseline, girl. Like, yeah, he should be holding the door open. Like, let's want more. Please want more,
More. I love it.
Yeah. So I think there is a lot of that where it's just me talking through, like, I had a woman I'm working with who they just cut her pay, right? Just like changes in
nowhere
structure. Yeah. It's a difference of like probably $60,000 in her comp. Right. Yeah. Crazy. So she's telling me this, breaking this down. And then she's like, but they gave me my start, but I know exactly what to expect, but I've got autonomy over my schedule and, all the things she's worried about. If she leaves, it might be different. It will. Mm-hmm. And as she's telling me this, cause I'm like, oh man, is that worth $60,000? Like, is all the stuff that you're experiencing, is that worth the $60,000 that you're now paying to them? And she was like, Alanah, if this were someone else telling me this story, I would be like, girl, that's not like, what are you talking about? We're going to go get more money. And I'm like, yeah. So okay. I don't have to say it. You already said it to yourself,
good.
But it's the talking through it with someone. They can hear it as they're saying to me, this is crazy. What do you mean you're going to stay in a place where they just cut your comp because you feel comfy there? Like,
yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. This is the time of our show, real quick, before we wrap up with Alanah, where when you comment on YouTube, you get entered into a raffle to win a Pink Fix merch item. Our softest hoodies, our trucker hats, you can see them right here. So let's take a look real quick. Welcome to the Pink Fix shop, where rebels, trailblazers, and legacy builders find their voice in every sip, stitch, and page. From best-selling tees to manifesting mugs, every item is designed to spark conversation and celebrate your story. Start building your legacy in style, only at pinkfixproductions.com. Oh man, we're wrapping up with Alanah. It's been so much fun with you, your stories. Don't get ahead of yourself. We got way ahead of ourselves with this episode. And there's so much more in your chapter. You talk about your network equals your net worth, cross-training, breaking generational cycles of keeping women down. You got to check out our chapter in Financial Trendsetters 2.0. And before we leave, we have one more question for you. Are you ready, Alanah?
Okay.
What makes you a woman behind the millions?
What makes you a woman behind the millions?
Oh gosh, I think this goes back, Jessica, to the doubting yourself. I don't know that I am. I think that's the thing. Is just like I generally believe that being your most authentic self is the secret. And that has taken a lot of time to shed those layers of what I thought I was supposed to be in this industry, in my life, all of those things. I have found, though, the closer I've gotten to shedding all of those layers and just being me wherever I am, the more all the love, the money, the fun has come back to me. So I think that's one piece is the authenticity. And then the other piece would be the abundance mindset that, again, if you do that, if you are your most authentic self, if you give freely and share the information with people and do what's right by them, it all comes back, even if it doesn't in that particular situation benefit you. I have experienced in my network, any of these scary things that I've done, the receipt of just all the love and time and energy that I've ever given out comes back to me.
Full circle. It does. It comes back in more, right? It overflows, pours into your life. Well, you are the heartbreaker of the industry, but in order to, you help women find the place that allows them to be their authentic self. So sometimes that takes a little heartbreak.
Yeah. And
You gotta break up in order to find that place that really values, respects you, and also wants you to thrive and broadcast it out to the world exactly as you are, not try to change you or stifle you into this little box. So thank you, Alanah, for doing the work that you do. It is so needed in this industry. And thank you for being one of our incredible trendsetters here and giving back to the industry in such a big way, in such an impactful way.
happy to participate. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And stay tuned for another episode of Women Behind the Millions next week. And right after the show, we have Care Conversations, our show by our advisor at the Wealth Boutique, Amanda Stillwell. So stay tuned, ladies. We'll see you next week, Money Queens.
Hey, Money Queens, looking to get your wealth to that next level, 7, 8, 9 figures? Follow us on Instagram at PinkFixMyMoney and at Women's Wealth Boutique for more millionaire money tips.